The winner of this best of 3 is the winner of the 1,500 runes. So let's see how they do. It looks like Indica has decided to start off with Odin, while Salugi has chosen Zeus. Alright, and we're starting off. Gift of Moonin is going to end Brontus' life before it has even begun to buff. Argus is a pretty solid 1-3 here. Argus is able to deal with 1-1s nicely. If you're able to actually cast any gods with Argus in play, you get to draw some cards, start gaining that value, which can be pretty important against Odin. You do want to have enough options to not just lose on the spot. Oh man, Gladiator has come down. Now Gladiator allows you to play your hero power for free. The only time that this is not the case is when you, for instance, have played Poseidon, because your hero power now costs 3 and it only lessens it by 2. Alright, that was a good use of Mercenary plus Judgment to take out that Gladiator and draw a card at the same time. Alright, looks like a Runestone of Ire has come into play with a crippling curse to end this Argus's life. Shock and Awe has been picked up. You know, a lot of times, even just Nemesis's power is good enough for Shock and Awe to make some good leeway into getting you ahead. You know, you're able to silence your opponent's creature and then cut another creature's life in half, while also adding to the life total of Mercenary to make, Nemesis to make it gigantic. Alright, and turn 6 Hydra is played now, leaving Salugi with a poison in hand by Indictus, and a 4/4 to deal with on board. Okay. So Nemesis has attacked into that Hydra to then allow Thanatos to kill it cleanly and teleport over to the side of the board. That's one of the really important things actually about Thanatos, is that when you play him and you actually get the activation from his Warcry, you're able to teleport him over to your opponent's side of the board. So if this is the play that gets you ahead, now you're at their summoning zone with a potential 4/4 on your next turn because of your hero power to buff it. Which means your opponent can't play anything there that isn't 4/4 or larger. Okay. And Poseidon has come down, changing the hero power to the Kraken, which does 2 damage to everything in a 2x2 square. And it also drew him a card with the Argus already in play. So you guys picked up. Now, if that hell is able to get going and start producing 3/3s, or making, for instance, Soul into a 4/3 with range, this game can kind of get out of control pretty quickly. Hell is one of those cards that the longer it stays into play, the more likely you are to win the game. Just because of her repeatable effect to buff your own units, can get out of hand pretty quickly. That being said, Salugi currently does have the Kraken as his hero power, allowing them to do 2 damage to Hell over 2 turns, to kill it if you need to.
This is a Chuki production.
Alright. And Salugi has cast to draw 2 gods. It looks like they got a Golden Artemis and an Enyo, both very powerful, high-value cards in the end game. And as we are starting to get into those later turns, these creatures are worth a good amount. Now we have Artemis in hand, as well as Shock and Awe, which most people kind of consider the dream, right? You're able to shoot something with Artemis, and then Shock and Awe, silence the unit, and then shoot something with Artemis again. Now what Artemis does is it reveals the top card of your library. And then you take a look at it, and then you're able to choose a target and deal the mana cost of the card revealed to you to a unit. Elimination Hydra has come into play. Elimination Hydra is often a great shock and awe target, as well as a nemesis target. Able to half the life with either, you're able to half the life with nemesis, or you're able to stop it from taking less than 1 damage with the shock and awe. That being said, without the shock and awe, alright, so the shock and awe is also going to come out this turn. Now, I do like this play. Without casting it a second time here, Hell is going to be able to heal that Hydra up, right? So if the Hydra isn't silenced, Hell will make that Hydra gigantic, and then you'll be in a situation where the Hydra is still going to take 3 or 4 hits to kill it. Alright. Well, Indica is trying to figure out what they want to do with the Hell. Oh, wow. A Fire Giant follow up with only 1 more card left in hand. Now Hell is going to be able to give this Fire Imp great value, making it attack for 4 and be able to kill this Nemesis straight up. And still stay in play. It definitely has the board control currently. That being said, we do know Salugi has a lot of very powerful cards still left in hand. So it'll be up to him to play them correctly and be able to get into a position to get rid of all of this and maybe push this Odin back. Now, there's a couple different options here. Something like just dropping the Divine Vengeance, getting rid of all of these 2/1s, the 1/1, as well as halving the life of the Fire Giant, might be a play to consider. The other plays are you could try to get lucky on Artemis. You could try to get Brontis to grow very large by playing Brontis and a couple other gods. Alright, so it looks like he did want to go with the Divine Vengeance play, which halves the life total of the Fire Giant and kills most of the rest of the board. The biggest problem is that having this Hell still in play and at full life means that she can continue to attack the Fire Giant to gain its life total so that it can keep going and be able to live through all of these Krakens. So Luke's going to have to make a decision here on how they want to go about killing this Giant and this Hell. At 11 life total, this game could very well be closed out very shortly here. And Salugi picks up Athena, which will be able to be played anywhere onto the board. And once she lands, she's able to do then 2 damage to everything surrounding her that belongs to your opponent. Alright, and
This is a Chuki production.
Athena is down. And the Kraken is able to clean up Hell. Ah, crippling curse, and Athena is now going down. So there should be at least 5 more damage this turn, bringing Salugi down to 6 life. Oh man, Ymir is going to be really tough to deal with here. Ymir is able to then start attacking Salugi's more powerful gods and just locking them down so that they're not able to do their work or their job. That being said, having the Kraken able to crush these units out has been pretty good for Salugi. Alright. Artemis reveals a 4-mana Thanatos So we do know what our next draw is, as well as we know where we can place 4 damage. And now this is, like I was saying, the problem with Ymir, right? Ymir's going to be able to come in here, attack Artemis for 2 damage, and lock her down from attacking again next turn. Although it does appear that Indicta's Odin has started to run out of gas, you know, by just dropping hero power. Oh, a Scotty. Scotty was a great card to draw there. This one is looking very grim right now for Salugi. All right. I'm not sure if there's any way for Salugi to live here. Definitely have to block up the lanes and manage to keep that wolf off of the core. Oh. Alright. I'm going to go for the block with the banner and then make a unit using that banner. So new spawning positions. And it looks like Salugi has lived to see the next turn. Let's see if Indica has any other way of winning this game. What did you miss? Salugi is showing off the best cards left in their deck. And being at only 3 cards left in the deck, it can definitely be hurtful. Considering Divine Intervention doesn't actually even draw more than 1 card at this point. So we're now in the last best of 3. Indicta came back and was able to win the first best of 3. So there we're on the play for this next round of best of 3. And we have a Odin versus a Zeus. This one's gotta be painful for Salugi here. Drawing the Shock and Awe here, not the Fire Giant. Or the Athena is pretty painful. You know, knowing that Athena and Fire Giant are your last 2 cards in your deck. You know, seeing that 5 life, having to block up the lanes every turn. Whether he'll be able to here or not, we'll see. Alright, Ymir bites the big one. Brontis comes down, and a lot of the lanes are officially blocked. Then it kills that Calder. Now, Indicta has a card left in hand. Oh, man. It looks like the Freya was just drawn. And this is what I was saying about Freya's Banish. You can run through your units through it. And now all of those units are going to come back on Indicta's next turn. So Salugi has to have answers for all of these units being at 1 life right this second. And it's too much to ask most of the time. And that's why Freya is probably the best 6 mana card in the game.
This is a Chuki production.
Alright. So now Indicta is up 1 win